What's going on, everybody? We're here. Lawrence Owen, Colts Law, man, getting ready to go over a really good game, right? Raiders, Colts. It's going to be a fun one to watch this week, man. Oh, wow. I can't wait to talk about this game. But I do want to talk a little bit about what's going on, John Alpha. Oh, man, I'm sorry that your phone's dying. Oh, well. Maybe you'll be able to come back later. What's going on, FaZe? Okay, so here's the deal. Everybody wants to talk about how lucky the Colts were in winning the game against the Texans, and I just want to point out there was still plenty of time left on the board. Even if the Texans had scored a touchdown, I mean, Phillip Rivers and that offense had about a minute 30 to walk the field, go 35 yards to kick a field goal to win. So come on. I mean, we talk about that all the time with all other offenses in the NFL. Did the entire NFL completely forget there was still time on the board, even if they had scored a touchdown? I mean, geez. They just want to look at that narrative and say, well, the Colts got lucky in their win. They didn't. They didn't. I had 100% faith that I thought Phillip Rivers and the way that offense was moving, and the way that offense was able to get down the field, and the way they couldn't handle T.Y. Hilton on 20, 30-yard shots down the field, that game right there, that was won no matter what. No, yeah, FaZe better than the Jets. Ain't that the truth, right? I mean, who plays a cover zero defense when you know you got to give up a touchdown to lose? I mean, that's dumb. There's a reason why a defensive coordinator ain't playing no more. But anyhow, no, I thought the Colts really, I mean, they dominated that game. If you actually watched the game from start to finish, the Indianapolis Colts dominated that game. The defense was in the backfield all the time, harassing the heck out of Deshaun Watson. Yes, he got out a lot, but that's just Deshaun Watson. What can you do about that? I mean, Deshaun Watson is that guy. I mean, we sacked him 5 times. We got a safety on him. What more do you want from this defense? Come on. What's going on, Avery Watkins? Glad to see you back. Appreciate you being here. Yeah. So, no, I just want to put to bed that if anyone out there, Colts fans or non-Colts fans, that believe that game against the Texans was anything but an actual Colts win rather than a lucky accidental slip win, don't worry about that, because that was straight up Indianapolis Colts doing what they need to do to win this game. Yes. Well, did I hear Andrew Luck's not coming back again? Nomadic Brian, of course, coming in with the sarcasm. Hey, guess what? Not only did Frank Reich say this, not only did Chris Ballard say this, not only did T.Y. Hilton say this earlier, but now Jim Irsay is completing the quadfecta, whatever you want to call it, right? Everybody is saying that Andrew Luck's not coming back. So how about we just put that to bed and move on? Because as much as we miss Andrew Luck, we just got to wish him well, you know, with his family, with his baby, with his wife, and how much he enjoys living life currently rather than playing football. That's just how I see it. Now, the thing is, that's a good question. Jack Adams has a question. Actually, Jack Adams, I like the blitzing on third down. I'm not 100% sure I like the blitzing on third down against Deshaun Watson. I would rather send 4 and then keep that spy as a linebacker or a safety sitting back around the line of scrimmage or whatnot in that zone coverage scheme to keep an eye on Deshaun Watson. But against this week, against Derek Carr, good Lord, send that third down blitz often. early and often because he doesn't move as well as some of your other. I mean, he can move around the pocket, but he doesn't move like some of these other guys that we played this year like Sam Darnold and Watson and Lamar Jackson and guys like that. So please, let's send some blitzes because Derek Carr is dangerous against the zone scheme. You give him time for his receivers to get into those seams and those open spots in the zone defense, he's going to pick us apart. He's done it the last 2 times he's played the Indianapolis Colts. We got to get pressure on him and bring him down so that when it gets to that point, he can't do that again. Good news, Josh Jacobs, he came back. He's limited. There's a good chance he won't play in this game. That's all I'm saying. If he does play, Josh Jacobs is a tough runner. Jacobs reminds me a lot of Jonathan Taylor, right? That hard-nosed downhill running machine that not only is not afraid of contact, but sometimes goes out of his way to look for the contact to punish defenses and make them not want to tackle him. Now, he's not Derrick Henry. There's a difference. But that's what Josh Jacobs does. And he can be a threat in the backfield as a receiver too. But still, man, I think our defense will be fine because if I'm looking at this injury report correctly, man, Tyquan Lewis is the only guy. Tyquan Lewis and Bobby Okereke are questionable for the game. That's it. Everybody else on that defense is good to go. Right? Everyone else on that defense, good to go. Rigoberto Sanchez, the punter, still out, obviously, with the cancer. Had that surgery. Still waiting to see how he goes along. Prayers and best wishes and hopes out to him and his family in hopes that he gets back to being very healthy. And, of course, Anthony Costanzo practiced this week. Limited practice on Thursday and Friday. So there's a good shot he could play as well. I would love to see that. So that'd be great. That would be great. FaZe asks, "Oh, how is he questionable?" Oh, well, Tyquan Lewis is questionable because he's got a hip injury that he suffered on Thursday during practice. No, not Thursday. He suffered it on Sunday in Sunday's game. He had a full practice today, but he didn't practice on Wednesday, and he had a full practice or a limited practice on Thursday. So hopefully he can play, but still, I mean, we've got everyone else back. All these people that were on the COVID-19 list, they're back. That's great. They're back. So that's all that matters to us. Mo Alley Cox, he's good to go. He was on a non-injury list. Same with Jack Doyle, which is good to hear. He just had rest. Blackman, he's good to go. Buckner has a hip injury and did not practice on Friday, but I think that's more of a precaution, kind of rest, make sure he's good to go. Hilton had a rest day. Darius Leonard had a rest. I mean, there's a lot of people that had rest days, just rest days on Friday. Rivers, of course, still dealing with that toe, which is kind of like turf toe. And from what I understand, it's kind of almost like a plantar fasciitis, but with the toe rather than the arch of your foot. So that sounds painful. I've had plantar fasciitis in my life due to playing football. Actually, not just football, but just sports in general. Any sports that you run a lot in, that happens. And it is painful. It is incredibly painful. When you have regular plantar fasciitis, it feels like your Achilles tendon is ready to tear off at any moment. Okay. It's that painful. So I can only imagine what he's going through with his toe, especially when he's got to throw the football, right? When he's putting pressure on that toe when he's launching off. So that's kind of scary. Brian says, awesome job on TY breakdown. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I know a lot of you was hoping for the TY Hilton breakdown. I finally got it out. I really got in depth in that one, didn't I? You know, I went through week to week to week, looking at what was going on with TY, figuring out why he wasn't getting his targets. And as I was watching it, it just started to become painfully obvious early on. Phillip Rivers didn't know how to use him. He honestly didn't. Phillip was throwing him footballs in places that he shouldn't have been. He was throwing it to him like he would throw to Mike Williams, right? Rather than an Austin Eckler. And he needs to throw it to him like he's an Austin Eckler rather than a Mike Williams. But an Austin Eckler that can even catch better than that and is even faster, right? Well, he started to learn how to do that about midway through the season, but then that stupid injury that TY had kind of set that back a little bit. Once he got healthy again, bam, it was on like Donkey Kong. And now TY Hilton, I fully expect, as long as he can stay healthy, I think TY is going to blow up. Colts Nation asked, what position did I play? Oh, offensive line? No, I didn't play offensive line. What's funny is I did play, well, kind of close. I played tight end. And I know this might sound odd. I played for a 5A football team in high school, and I'm 6'6", and at the time I was 230 pounds. I also played strong safety, and I was all-state strong safety. So I was very good at covering tight ends, playing as a tight end, and also tackling downhill. That's what I did. And I love both positions a lot. I think they're both incredibly underrated. Let's see here. Okay, so we're talking about Jonathan Taylor last week against the Texans. I see his average yards per carry. Let me explain a little something about why Nyheim Hines and Jordan Wilkins and Jonathan Taylor split carries, even though sometimes one is playing better than the other. Nyheim Hines fits a specific style of play during stretches of the game. When you need that guy who could split out wide and take a linebacker out of the box, that's how you do that. You put Nyheim Hines out there, you do it that way. That sets up certain personnel matchups on the field that is more beneficial than having, say, Jonathan Taylor. And I hate to say this, but Jordan Wilkins is better with a stacked box than Jonathan Taylor is. Jonathan Taylor is a bulldozer, yes. But Jordan Wilkins is really good at seeing a seam, getting skinny, getting through that seam without getting hit and getting extra yards. The beautiful thing that we've seen the last couple of weeks from Jonathan Taylor is his vision is getting better. He's starting to notice that when his lane is not open and there is open field to either side of him, sorry, I just hit my mic, that he will break off going from the middle and take off to the outside. And that gives me hope. That gives me hope that Taylor is going to get better throughout the season, that he's getting better, and that maybe when the Colts hit the playoffs, because I don't care. I think the Colts, if the Colts beat the Raiders this Sunday, they pretty much punched their ticket into the playoffs. I think Jonathan Taylor will be that guy. Yes, he is. Jonathan Taylor is a really good pass catcher and run after catch, but he doesn't have that route running ability, okay, that Nyheim Hines has. That's the thing. When you split a guy, when you split a running back to the outside, you need them to run routes in a specific way, because what if they put a cornerback on that running back? Jonathan Taylor's not going to shake a cornerback running routes. Okay. Nyheim Hines has the ability to. Now, Jonathan Taylor is dangerous catching out of the backfield. If he has ball snap, he takes a little swing right out, no one really follows him or something, or is behind, and Rivers can just dump it off to him. He can use that size and speed to just take off, boom, gain big yards after the catch. But he's not a guy that you're wanting to line up traditionally at the wide receiver slot position or something of that nature. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. All right, let me get a drink here. I'm a little thirsty. Now, let's get into the Raiders game, man, because this is going to be a tough game. Like I said, Carr is dangerous against a zone scheme. We got to get pressure on him. Now, our front four does a good job, especially when they're healthy. But if we have situations where it's 3rd and 5 and longer, I think the Colts should send blitzes. But they can't be a predictable blitz, right? You need to see a Kenny Moore off the edge occasionally. I'd like to see Anthony Walker go on the blitz and leave Okereke and Leonard in coverage. Right? I would like to see Kari Willis come up in the blitz or something. That's the kind of stuff that I want. Things that the opposing team's not going to – they're going to be looking for Leonard to blitz. They're going to look for Okereke because of, their speed and athleticism. Last week, we saw Anthony Walker blitz and darn near come home. When it's a straight line blitz, Anthony Walker's got some pretty decent speed straight line. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, Avery. Last year and the year before, Carr carved us up, but we're a different defense this year too. Okay, we didn't have DeForest Buckner on our team last year. We didn't have Xavier Rhodes on our team last year, right? We didn't have Julian Blackmon on our team last year. Our defense is different. It's a little different than what Carr has seen in the past seasons. So now you know what is funny? Yeah, TJ Carey, Colts Nation. TJ Carey is another guy, a good rotational piece. So yes, there's a lot of differences with this defense this year as it was just like the offense. The offense is different. We have no Marlon Mack. We have Michael Pittman Jr. out there. We got Jonathan Taylor out there. We got differences. Trey Burton, right? So we have differences on both sides of the field that are, impressive differences to take note of. I have a little bit of fear. One thing that I don't like, I'm not afraid of the run game. I think the Colts play the run. Their run defense is one of the best in the NFL. I think they'll be fine here. There's only 1 or 2 running backs all season that has given the Colts fits, and one of them, of course, is Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry gives everybody fits. So I'm not worried about that. We got to watch out deep. All right. We got to make sure we always have someone kind of leaning towards Ruggs, because Ruggs can hit deep. And he's dangerous deep. So you kind of got to have a safety kind of eyeballing him at all times, especially if you got someone like Aguilar running a seam, and then on the opposite side, you have Ruggs going. You're going to want to lean towards Ruggs more than Aguilar. But the big scare, Darren freaking Waller. All right? Darren Waller right now is, I think, the second best tight end in football when it comes to PFF grades as a pass-catching tight end. Right? I mean, he had like darn near 200 yards receiving last week. Now, it was against the Jets, but, I mean, he has those games where he can just seriously break out. Now, the good thing is the Colts are like the best or the second best defense in the NFL against tight ends. So I think we can handle him. But we got to make sure if he starts chaining catches together, we need to find a way to box him out. That's how I see it. Guys, I'm going to spend a moment. I'm 20 minutes in. I got 9 people watching from what I'm seeing. And, hey, please smash that like button. Hit the subscribe if you're watching and not subscribed. And share this to your social media. I would appreciate it so much. Thanks so much, guys. And over on Sportscaster, I got Jay Writes About Sports, Sammy Sam, G-Vine in 1977. Thanks all of you for watching on Sportscaster. If you're watching and I didn't name your name off, because I got 45 people watching on Sportscaster. Man, if I didn't name you off, that means you ain't got a profile. Please spend 15, 20 seconds, make a profile. That way you can hit the like button. You can give me a follow and be notified next time I go live. And you could get in the chat, right? Like these guys over here on YouTube. You could get in the chat. That's great. Ask questions. Have some comments. Jack Adams says, are we going to need JD to pound it away to have success in the playoffs? If we can run the football effectively and our defense keeps up, the sky's the limit. I think the running game in general needs to be effective. I think Indianapolis sometimes gets away from the running game a little too early. The run game generally is not great in the first half of any game for any team. Even Derrick Henry in the first half generally does not go off. His big runs are in the second half. After you've pounded him 15 times or so in the first half, right? Wore down that defense. So I think you just got to wear down the defense with the run. Just like Baylor says, they get too pass happy. That's straight up. Thanks for that. Thanks for that comment. It is true. They do. I am going to say that Phillip Rivers has stepped up to the challenge. I am pleasantly surprised. Phillip Rivers has been one of the most accurate passers in the NFL this year. And he's not throwing 50-50 balls anymore. He's leading a receiver. He's leading these Colts receivers to open spots on the field. That touchdown pass to T.Y. Hilton last week was a thing of beauty. Led him perfectly, hit him in stride. It looked like Andrew Luck throwing T.Y. Hilton the football. It was a beautiful pass. Led him dead on for an easy score. And I think that Phillip, like I said, with the way he's playing, I've been incredibly pleasantly surprised. Yes, his touchdown numbers ain't great. He's got like 14. But he's not turning the football over. Right? We need to be better in the red zone. Last week, we were better in the red zone. We need to consistently be better in the red zone. I think I saw a statistic where Frank Reich is 9 of 14 on fourth down conversions this year. 9 of 14. That's huge. That's like 65, 70% on fourth down. But you can't get third downs. We got to get better at setting ourselves up on third down. Another thing, don't be predictable in your play calling, right? Don't run the ball on first down and then pass it on second down just because you got 2 yards or less on the first run. Try to run it twice. Throw it twice. Get in. You know what I want to see? I want to see the Colts go right into this game against the Raiders into a hurry-up offense. Just go right in there in a hurry-up offense, and because Clelin Ferrell last week had 2 sacks. I think it's the first sacks he's had. Maurice Hurst, name you guys might know, Jonathan Hankins, right? Ex-Colt, and then ex-Giant. Max Crosby, Corey Littleton. These guys, let's wear that D-line down. Let's wear them down. Go into the hurry-up offense and just play fast. Have them sucking air by the end of the second quarter. That way, the third quarter, the Colts can just go cruise control with their run game. All right, so guys, my cat is screaming at me to go outside. I don't like him going outside, but that's weird. Huh. Yeah, so Jack says that Raiders and all NFL fans besides the Colts are too caught up in what Phillip did last year. You know what? That's what I was saying. He is the least sacked quarterback in the NFL when it comes to pressure percentage and sacked. Well, I don't know if he's the least sacked quarterback anymore. I think he got sacked 3 times last week because, let's face it, we had a little issue at the left tackle with Anthony Costanzo out, and we was going up against J.J. freaking Watt. But I predicted that. I said we're going to have issues with J.J. Watt, and that's what happened. So it's all good. Yeah, we had Chaz Green in last week after LaRaven Clark went down on IR with a torn Achilles. Holy crap. How many torn Achilles is the Colts going to have? They got like 4, don't they, this year? 4 or 5 now? Baylor wants to know if AC is playing this week. Oh, sorry. There we go. He's questionable. It'll probably be a game time decision on his knee. I'm hoping he does. I really do. I think it's one of those situations where we just sit, wait, and hope. But the thing is, the Raiders don't have a great pass rush, okay? They're good against the run defense, but they're not a pass rush type defense. I'm not worried about that at all. Their safety situation could be huge for Indy. Jeff Heath, their starting free safety, is out, and Jonathan Abram is questionable going into this game. You know what that means? Let me tell you what that means. That means our tight ends could have seriously big games. Huge games. Could you imagine the Indianapolis Colts tight ends going against the Raiders, who have Darren freaking Waller, and then the Raiders end up giving up 150 yards to the Colts tight ends? It's quite possible. It's quite possible. I could see all 3 of our tight ends, including Jack Doyle, finally getting into this game and seeing good stuff. Yes, Jack Adams. Feed big Mo Alley Cox. Absolutely. I can't disagree with that at all. So Raiders fans are going to tell you that they're just going to pound the rock and hit Ruggs over the top and use Darren Waller to keep us honest up the middle. And honestly, that's a good way to go about business, except the Indianapolis Colts ain't the Kansas City freaking Chiefs. All right? We have a defense. We know how to play we know how to play against that kind of game. And have played against that kind of game for all year. You're not just going to walk in and run the football against one of the best run defenses in football. Right? You're just not. We've allowed one player in the last 3 years to gain 100 yards on the Colts. The Colts have allowed one player in the past 3 years, and that's Derek freaking Henry. And we played against some pretty darn good running backs. Zeke Elliott, right? We've played against Dalvin Cook, shut him down. You know, we've played against some really good running backs in the NFL. So Yeah. I like this, Colts Nation. Our defense is the Ravens defense in 2012 in the second half. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I was explaining this a couple weeks ago about why that happened. Matt Eberflus came out and said exactly as I said, right? They have a game plan against a team. And when that team goes against our game plan and does something different, and then all of a sudden you're seeing them score a bunch and moving the football in the first half, and you're like, what in the world's wrong? It takes a moment to be able to go to that, that iPad, go over the plays, see what they're doing, and then make adjustments and implement those adjustments. And once those adjustments get in, that defense becomes locked down again. Right? That's exactly what happens. And that's why the Colts are one of the best in the NFL. They have the best second half defense in football, period. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love Josh Jacobs. He's the real deal running back. You're going to have to tackle him, right? And you're going to have to be, if Josh Jacobs plays, because I think he's doubtful. Even though it says questionable, he was doubtful earlier this week. I think yesterday, as a matter of fact. You have to tackle him. You need to wrap the way the Colts tackle all the time. Hit at the waist, thighs, slide down, wrap the ankles. Because he will run over you. He looks for that contact. But yeah, Sexy Surfer 69 says T.Y. Hilton has reemerged. And I'm telling you, if you haven't checked out my film room, I think T.Y. Hilton will stay emerged, okay? Because it's finally Phillip Rivers knows who he's working with. You know what's funny? Derrick Henry, Colts Nation. Derrick Henry says the only running back in the NFL he's scared of is Derrick Henry. He reminds me of prime Adrian Peterson, right? That big, powerful back that'll run you over and then use his straight line speed to gain all that extra yards. Trey played a little bit last week. Brian asked about how Kimoko Ture's coming along. He played a little bit last week, got some pressure, got ran at a couple times last week. All right, so it seems like the offenses are keeping track. Another player on the Raiders, and I posted this on Twitter earlier this week. Another player on the Raiders that's going to be a familiar face besides Jonathan Hankins, that the Colts, all you guys should know, Denzel Good. Denzel Good is out there. He's their starting guard, and he has been playing really, really good football. He is a people mover, as we all expected him to be. He is a people mover in the run game. They run behind Denzel Good. All right, so that's something that we're going to have to get around him defensively. I think that Denzel is a player that he could be had on some of these stunts that the Colts run. Might confuse him a little bit because I don't think they stunt in the AFC West very much. So I think the Colts could use a lot of stunt action with their defensive front four to get pressure and hits on Derek Carr. Yes, we did, Colts Nation. We had Denzel Good in 2018, and then the offensive line coach, Googe, allegedly told Denzel Good that he would never play football again for a team that he was coaching because he went to his brother's funeral and was gone for a couple weeks when his brother was shot. That's the alleged story that came out. That's what Denzel Good says happened. The Colts would not confirm or deny that. I remember that very vividly. I was very upset about it. But That's only allegedly because, like I said, the only person that states that is Denzel Good. And that's why Gooch is no longer the head coach, in my opinion, because it's funny because the Colts in 2018 had one of the best offensive lines in football, like ranked the best offensive line in football, and then Gooch was fired right afterwards. Makes you think something was up, right? So, all right. 35 minutes in. What do you guys let's slap some predictions down, right? Let's slap some predictions down. All you guys watching here, I got 14 people live right here on YouTube. Please don't forget, smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm on the road to 1K subs. 43 people watching over here on Sportscaster. I want some predictions for the game. I want to know. We got Faye says 30-17 Indy. 30-17 Indy. John Davis says personal issues with Gooch. Yeah. Alpha says 35-27. Woo! We got two people saying the Colts are going to score at least 30. 32-24 Indianapolis Colts Nation. Nice. Very nice. Reese. What's up, Reese? 33-17 Colts. Thanks for being here. Jack's got 31-21. Definitely needs to be a game like that. We got Sexy Serper 27-13. And John says 17. Wow. No one thinks that the Indianapolis Colts are going to lose this game. 17-7. Really? You think that this is going to be a defensive struggle, John? That's an interesting numbers. But hey, you know what? A win is a win, and I will take it without any kind of question. Any question. Avery says 29-23. How'd you come up with 29, Avery? That's interesting. And 23 at that. 23 implies there's going to be a safety somewhere. Or, I mean, it could be a 2-point conversion. You know, I get that. A whooping, 31-14. I like that number. Alpha says, we're in week 14. It has to be a statement game. I agree. Utterly agree. This needs to be a statement game. I think that the Colts need to come out fast on both sides of the ball. Like I said, the Indianapolis Colts should come out immediately with Frank Reich saying, hurry up offense. Let Rivers kind of dictate the game offensively. If the run is there, run it. If the pass is there, pass it. And on defense, man, get after the quarterback. Stop that run on the way to the quarterback. That's the way I always see it, man. When you're playing defense, if you're going to blitz, you can send 5 people. Send 5 people in gap. In gap. Don't go overload. Go in gap, send 5, attacking the run on the way to the quarterback. That way you're covering all your bases. If all the guys play that are questionable, we have a strong chance. I'll tell you what. If Anthony Costanzo plays, we have a strong chance. I'm okay with Chaz Green playing this game because the Raiders ain't got no J.J. Watt. The Raiders ain't got no Myles Garrett. And those are the two guys that really hurt us because, you know, the games that he missed. The Raiders ain't got a style of defensive player that's in even close to that level as a pass rusher. Bud Dupree, Reese asks, with Bud Dupree out for the Steelers, do you think the Colts can win that game even though we never have success there? I'm going to get in more detail, but I think the Colts smashed the Steelers. Okay? I think the Steelers are an underwhelming team, especially the last half of the season. They have won ugly games against bad teams. Just thought you'd be different. That's fine, Avery. That's fine. If we're 10-4 and the Steelers are 12-2 at the week 16, should it be prime time? That's a good question, Colts. Well, the NFL has already flexed 2 of Indianapolis's games this year. So, I mean, it's a good possibility that could end up being that way. I think we could beat the Steelers now. I think so too. Absolutely. I absolutely think that as well, FaZe. Did we talk about the tackle we signed? No. I haven't talked about the Baltimore Ravens tackle. Joe Nubo, a guy that covers the Ravens that I'm really good friends with. I do a lot of stuff with him. You can check out him on Sportscaster and YouTube both. I haven't had a chance to sit down and ask him anything about him, so I don't know a whole lot about that tackle yet. But sorry. Colts prime time, right? But it won't be. I mean, no, you're right. It probably won't. That'd be nice to see. Reese says he's praying for a Kamoko Ture sack, and that would be a really fun thing to watch. That would be a really, really fun thing to watch. So, guys, I'm going to find out Sunday what film room I'm going to be doing. If a player really breaks out, I would love to do that. I'm really kind of hoping for a Jack Doyle to break out. Mo Alley Cox to break out in this game, Well, Kamoko looks hurt. He's still dealing with his ankle, Colts Nation, right? He's on a pitch count to try to get back into shape and NFL shape and game playing shape. So he's been Jack asked the same thing. He's just little time. He just needs time to get back in. He'll be back to his full strength by playoffs, and that's when we need him the most anyhow. But yeah, if Indy does not have a breakout guy, like let's say the Colts run the football 200 yards against the Raiders, it's possible. I'll do an O-line breakdown because, depending. If it's like all the running backs that are combined and all 3 of them do well, then I'll do that. I've already done my Jonathan Taylor breakdown for this year. I don't like Trey Burton. All right. Here we go. He says Burton is underrated. As a pass catcher, yes. He is an awful run blocker. Awful run blocker. Okay? You remember the 4th and 2 play where we handed it off to run up the gut. Excuse me. Trey Burton was supposed to stop right in the gap between the center and the guard and get that lead block. He overran his assignment. And the guy he was supposed to block came in free and tackled the running back. Now, the one thing Trey Burton is good at is, you're right, he is way better than Ebron when it comes to catching. Okay? Ebron had 3 drop passes. 3 in his last game. Come on. But you know what? Brian says we need our tight end to block. We have 2 good blocking tight ends in Jack Doyle and in Mo Alley Cox. And in that situation, it shouldn't have been Trey Burton with the lead block on the motion swing. it should have been Mo Alley Cox or Jack Doyle. And I don't think Jack Doyle was able to do it that game. I think he was out for that play. So, but I would have put Mo Alley Cox in there and had him lead block that. That's a good. Yeah, Wright doesn't care because he has confidence in everyone in just about every aspect. But you still got to put players in there to play what they're good at, right? I mean, geez, just got to. You can't. It's like, you know, I get why Nyheim Hines gets a couple runs every game right up the gut. I get why that happens. Because if they don't, whenever Nyheim Hines does come in, all they're going to do is protect the perimeter on him and watch for passes out of the backfield. So you gotta run a couple times with Nyheim Hines up the gut, but you can't do it often, and you got to do it. I think that's a situation. I think Nyheim Hines would be better on like a delayed handoff, right, rather than just go. Also, I'd love to see Rivers under the freaking under center once in a while, a lot more than shotgun. He's in shotgun a lot now. I get he's not very mobile. I get he's got the toe injury, and that's going to limit how he moves. So I understand why he's in shotgun, especially now, a lot more than what he was previously. But, man. That's just how it works. I'm still looking through the got a lot of people talking about Jonathan Taylor. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Taylor break out again. I mean, he's already had his breakout game. I mean, he's had 2 100-yard games, hasn't he, this year? One earlier in the season and then one now. But either way, I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he'll be fine. He's getting better. But guys, my throat is getting sore from yelling and screaming. You can tell that my voice has kind of dipped a little bit in this stream. So I appreciate everybody that was here. Please don't forget to smash that like and subscribe and share this to your social media. Just hit that little share button down there. You copy paste, send it to your, I don't know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'd appreciate it. But I'm gonna have to get off here. I'm gonna be posting a lot of content on my channel, and it's not just Colts content, guys. So if you're just a general fan of the NFL, like you seen earlier, I have a stream on here that I just uploaded today about possible places that some veteran quarterbacks might end up being, whether, you know, they might be changing their collars. You know, will Matt Stafford still be a Lion? Where will Fitzpatrick be next year? Where will Jones or Darnold be? Is Carson Wentz able to even be moved with that contract? You know, same with Matt Ryan, things like that. Just click on my icon and go check out some of my streams, man. I got a lot of good streams. The only way for me to get more views on these is to get likes on the streams. So if you watch something and you think that it was informative and you enjoyed the stream, smash the like button so the analytics will bring that up to the top and other people will be able to see that. It'll come on their timeline. Oh, I wouldn't take Wentz for nothing. Chris Troger says, have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great weekend to you as well. Everybody here, thanks so much. Let's go Colts. I'm sure we're going to beat the Raiders, but the game's got to be played, right? The game has to be played. I just hope that Matt Eberflus, I have faith in our offense against that Raiders defense. I'm just worried a little bit about Derek Carr and our zone defense. And Darren Waller, obviously. So, thanks everybody for being here. I got to go. Like I said, I'll have all kind of content, hopefully on a daily basis. And until next time, as usual, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law. We were going over the Colts-Raiders matchup this Sunday, week 14 of the NFL season. And until next time, have a good one.